Checking out more of this rust on the fenders and firewall, and I removed this. Just had to drill out some rivets. Went right in there like that. There's some insulation there, which actually goes into the car. This is the dashboard right here, I think. So that's pretty rusty. Got to get that caulk out of there. So I'm going to clean this up, and we'll see what it looks like after. And take this bolt out, and this whole thing will come off once that's removed, because nothing's holding it. Okay, I got that off. It looks like there was a screw here, and a screw here, but they were all rusted out. There's another screw right there. And that was holding what's left of this on. So that's the edge of what I'm looking to rebuild. So if I cut it here and here, I'm gonna needle scale it. Then I need to replace it out to here, and then I can put a plate from here to here. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's gonna have to go all the way up to there. That's part of the firewall, and then this is the floor. I have that piece, and this is where the floor would actually touch on the inside, obviously. All right, here's a better look at it. This was filled in with some kind of putty or caulk or something. Had to use a chipper hammer to get it out. It looks like I'm going to be able to put a piece of angle right here, maybe from here to here, or cut it and bend it to match this. I could just cut this out and make it flat, because it doesn't really need to have this little indentation right here. There's a little bump right here as it curves around. That's kind of solid there. Once I get a piece of angle there to weld to, if I can get that attached nice, I can just put a piece of flat stock up here and do like I did with the fender, or with right here. I can do that again. And this is going to require a sheet, so I might try to use that stuff over here. That's 18 gauge, I think. So I guess I'll start cutting and see what's behind here. Oh, looks like there's a big hole right there. Now look what I found in the corner. I got a floor plate that goes to the firewall. And it goes high enough to cover that little hole right there. And it looks like it needs to be cut out along here somewhere. But what that means, because this is the structural integrity of the frame, I think. So if I leave it jacked up on this and I cut that out, this frame will probably fall. So what that means is the engine and transmission have to come back out. And I have to cut along right there to install that plate. And that gets up there pretty good into that hole. So all I need to do is replace that square part right there. But it looks like I'm gonna put the tire back on, drop it down, go get the tractor and pull the motor back out. I think I'm gonna leave that hole for now because I might want to put a piece of conduit in here and run it across this way, like 1/2-inch conduit, and then exit it right here so I can pull wires, so I can keep wires out of the engine bay. So I think I'll wait to do that and I'll finish it up later. But I got this pretty well done. I'm gonna, again, this hole and this hole, I'm gonna have to wait till I put the fenders on and drill the holes and then maybe weld some nuts in there. But this side is pretty much done. I'm gonna have to cut the other side open again because what I just realized is, because this one's a lot worse, the rain is gonna come down in that grate and it runs out right here. And this has holes in it. So either this car is never gonna be in the rain again because it'll leak right down into the carpet, or I gotta cut all this out and fix these holes before I cover this up. And the bad thing is I'm done over there. Now I gotta cut the metal I just put in out. And I don't know how, it's gonna be hard to fix that. I have to cut all that back out, or at least this plate right here, cut it out so I can get in there. Oh, man, what a waste. What a waste of time. Turns out I only had to back up a little. I had to cut this piece back out. This cowl's garbage. I removed the welds all the way around. Now I got to remove the window, and I don't have the tools to do that, so I'm going to have to get the tools to remove this trim and cut the seal out and get the window out. I might need 2 people to get the window out after I get it freed up, but we'll see. The videos I watched used 2 people, but they had an engine in the engine bay and I don't, so anyways, the window's got to come out because this goes underneath the window, and then I'm going to wind up needing a new seal. But I think I can get the window out. I don't know if I want to put the window in. I might pay somebody to do that, but I can get the window out and get this cowl, because it turns out that everything I did wasn't a waste of time. Some of this lip right here though is going to have to be, like right here, it's going to have to be replaced, and I can do that pretty easy with a strip of steel. And it's too bad I didn't find out sooner. Well, I didn't realize that water was going to run through there. I should have realized that. But when I got over there and started tearing that one in, that one was a lot worse. I thought it wasn't that bad, but it was a lot worse. And I realized, oh man, this is going to leak right into the car. And it went all the way around too. It wasn't something that you could even think about repairing. So I'll need to run a strip from here, like a 1/2 inch or a 1 inch strip from here to here. Eventually, I already ordered the parts, so it'll be a few days, and then I can get to that. But in the meantime, I got to figure out how to get the window out. So tomorrow I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and get some tools. Okay. You don't need special tools from Harbor Freight. I used this and this. And you'll figure it out, I guess. To get the trim off, I use this needle to pry underneath it right like that. And there's videos that'll show you. And then you just get it up under there and pry it out. There's videos for that. Not this one. And then I had to cut on the back side here. See that piece of rubber right here? You gotta cut that rubber right here on the top, all the way around the top and the sides. The bottom you don't really need to do, even though I tried. I gave up. The bottom you don't need to do. Is what this does is it sits, this that's been cut sits on the back side. See how it folds over there? If you cut that, then it exposes it, which I can't really show because I don't have light. Anyway, after that you come up here and you take this and you pry and work this rubber out until it comes all the way around 3 sides. And the bottom you can just leave, because now I can just fold this window up and take it out because it's loose. After you get the rubber off, see, it's loose. So I'll get that off. Now that I got the window out, you can see this part right here. It goes on the inside of this metal lip right here. See, and you gotta cut that right there on the other 3 sides so that you can pull it out from the other side. You get your hook in and pull it out from after you cut it here. You get on the other side with your hook and you pull and you kind of pry it until you get a piece of it out, and then you can rip it out. I don't have a tripod, and well, I have a tripod, but it doesn't work that well, and the battery life and the amount of editing, it's all just a big pain in the butt. So I looked it up online, pretty easy. There's some videos that show how to remove the window and install the window, but I figured I'd give an overview of it since I did it. So to get this cowl off, I wire wheeled this clean so I could see the spot welds. You can see them pretty easy. See they're right there. You can see them without even wire wheeling them, but when you wire wheel them, they show up real good. And then I grinded them thin I tried not to get too deep. And then I'm just taking my chip and hammer and prying in there and popping them because they're thin enough to break before the backing plate breaks. It's been brazed right here, so that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass, but I'll get it. And then there's two layers. There's this top layer for the top of the cowl, and then this layer right here is the bottom. Once I get the top off, I'll clean this up more and probably use the chip and hammer more than anything to get that loose. On the other side too. This side also, I missed it. I just did the first layer, which is fine because to get to the, I think the next one I'm going to have to, well, I don't know, I see them right here. I'm probably going to have to grind those out and chip that away next, but that I think is attached to the bottom piece. I think these rivets, or these tacks are attached to the bottom half. And so I might have to get them just to get the top off. And then there's probably more underneath of that attaches the bottom piece to the car. We'll see. Okay, so it turns out that this rivet right here is the last one that holds it on. This piece is the bottom side, and the only thing that attaches to the car is right here. So you don't have to grind out these. I cleaned them up because I thought I did, but then I ended up realizing that if I just cut it clean here, well, it's not clean. If I cut it dirty here and get it all disconnected here, then this weld was what confused me because it made it look solid, but this piece is not part of this piece. This part's part of the car, but this part isn't. So once I get that rivet loose like I did on the other side, this whole thing starts to move. Guess now would be a good time to fix anything under the dash, like this mess right here. It's all loose. This all needs to be rebuilt for the clutch pedal. It was moving. That bolt right there. Yeah, it's junk. Huh. Too bad this ain't removable. Too bad it has to go underneath the window. I need to repair that. And this firewall is surprisingly good. I should almost cut that out and put a piece of angle iron there, because this inside solid out there is a mess, but past here is a mess. Almost makes you want to do the firewall, but I'm already too far to worry about doing that.